Hello and welcome along to the Project Cars 2 West Wales Karting Virtual Racing League, and today we are continuing with the PS4 platform as they continue their F-150 pickup truck challenge championship, and it's been a hell of a ride so far. We've had a few rounds already, 4 rounds I believe. We'll have a look at the calendar in a minute, and you can see a lot of the drivers have already taken to the track, as the track is now back open at West Wales Karting in Haverfordwest. Plenty of events underway, hundreds of drivers in the first week of reopening, and a lot of events coming up too, including the weekly 100s, endurance racing, and the Pembrokeshire Karting Championship starting back up too soon. So a lot of the drivers will be looking ahead to that. But for today, the focus is firmly on Mullenbach. It was round 5 in these trucks, and it's promising to be extremely exciting. This one, we've actually been looking forward to this since the start of the championship, because it is a very snowy scene indeed at the Mullenbach circuit, Nürburgring of course. And it's going to be extremely fun, I think, to see these trucks sliding around, even more than they have already, on the very slippery, icy surface. So far it's Luke McGee who leads the way on 95 points, but Stuart Davis there in second, really closed up at the last round in Spain, taking a few wins there, and Luke McGee found it a little bit difficult to get past Icebreaker at points in that one, but he's not with us today. So Mike Gunnan's in third, Icebreaker's fourth, Monty there in fifth at the moment, not too far behind, and then a great battle all through the midfield. So on the grid now and waiting for the lights, and it's go here, and Stuart Davis is in third at the moment, just behind Luke McGee and Mike Gunnan, and down the inside there, who's that? And off, that's Mike Gunnan's off in the green car, I think, and yes, he is off, and Stuart Davis now is behind Del Boy. Luke McGee's leading. I'm a little bit confused why it's not snowing, because apparently it was meant to, but anyway, maybe it'll snow later, spoiler alert. Del Boy though is really going wide there as they go through now the tricky infield twisty section. Really good for overtaking. Stuart Davis has jammed on the barrier. Incredible, Stuart's on the barrier. It's very easy to do that in this circuit. And Matt there battling away with his nemesis there, Pixie, for 4th and 5th position. Only 6 runners. Mike Gunnan's trying to make up some ground. I feel like I've said that a lot this championship. He's always been up there and then something's happened to him, but he's making up ground again today. At least he's getting lots of overtaking practice, and still plenty of time in this championship and this race, of course. 3 10-minute races for these drivers to complete. And Ian joining me in the commentary box. What to make of the start there? No snow. What's going on here?
Yep, I think starting with a clear race, but I think there's forecasts for snow later on, so watch this space. But yeah, it's very unlucky start again from Mike there. He was second on the grid, and was really unfortunate. He got tagged by Del Boy, and then Matt coming through, and as we see another incident here, it's Mike getting his way back up, and it's Pixie, but not the best one there for Matt. He's been very unlucky there as he spun round, and it's almost as chaotic as the first corner.
It's a pretty tight corner that, and you have to get your brake in just right, because if you brake a little bit too early, you end up turning in a bit too soon, and you can easily just get jammed on that barrier on the inside, just as we saw with Stuart Davis. But thankfully he didn't lose too much time for his sake. He's still there in 3rd place, and he's chasing down this man now, Del Boy, in the bright yellow truck. But it looks like at the moment Luke McGee is in a league in all of his own. Look at him out there in front, going through that tricky corner we were just talking about.
Yeah, definitely. It's you ideally want a wide line there, but it opens you up to attack here. So I've seen another incident there, because you want to kind of keep it tight, but otherwise you'll clip that barrier there. It's not the most ideal line there, so you've just got to kind of like take it wide and cut across without clipping the barrier. But it's so easily done. I've seen a few already. So yeah, that could be a incident-packed spot as the race progresses.
Yeah, and a lot of momentum as well you need to take through there to get up that little hill, especially in these things, which weigh an absolute, well, I was going to say a ton, they weigh multiple tons actually, don't they?
Yep, 2 tons.
So you really do need to keep that momentum going up there, and rising on board now with Del Boy. He's back down to 4th as a result of his little fan favourite moment, and created a nice smoke screen for the drivers coming behind him there. You can see now going through the Schumacher S's, he's actually catching Mike at the moment, but the looks of it through that section of the circuit. Anyway, and he tacks it back. He gets his braking all wrong indeed, and now he's stopped. He's trying to let Mike back in front, but Mike's completely had it. He's in the barrier, he can't get going again. Pixie's trying to take advantage of that. He's up to 4th now, and here's Matt. This has allowed Matt to close back up, so very unfortunate for Mike there.
Yeah, Del Boy just carrying a bit too much speed there, getting a bit over exuberant. He was coming in there and just up the back as Mike was coming through the corner, and it's all gone wrong for him again. He's on the recovery as we see Pixie and Del Boy continuing for the last podium spot. But it's very wide there from Del Boy. He's trying to carry as much speed in, but it's not working. And he spun it round. Oh dear, that's it's not what you want.
Yeah, he's getting going again now, waiting for the other trucks to come through. It must feel ages as you're waiting for the other traffic to come past the bit of track that you're trying to get back onto after having been in the gravel. And we see this quite a bit. Some drivers do overdrive a little bit after something's happened to them, and I think maybe just a little bit of a case of that as well for Del Boy. He's back in 6th now, and he's got a lot of work to do. But Pixie's the main benefit out of this. Look at this, in podium position now for Pixie, and he's got a nice few seconds advantage over Mike Gunnan in the green machine. There he is, just in the foreground.
Yep, good drive from him as Mike's managed to get himself back in the running after a pretty unfortunate start, but he's made it up with other incidents, so he's back in the running. But good performance here from Pixie as we see Stuart Davis has managed to get himself back into 2nd place again. So Loopy McGee making a break at the front, but his championship rival is hanging in there as he's a wee clip of the barrier, but he's managed to continue. So great battle here, potentially the room between Pixie and Mike.
Yeah, this could get very tasty indeed. Pixie really would like this podium. It would do his championship wonders in his battles in the midfield there, especially with the likes of Alex Brown not here tonight as well, and Monty's not here either in this race. So Pixie spots a real opportunity here. But of course, for Mike Gunnan, he has to absolutely go for it too. So 2 drivers here with a lot to gain, and they really need to push on now if they want to make it work for them. And you can see Pixie there trying to get the back end around, trying to get the front pointed nicely, and we saw him nearly lose it, actually turning a little bit too early in that tricky right-hander, didn't we, in the last lap. So let's see how he goes this time round.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be one to watch because, especially if you're coming under pressure, you want to kind of carry speed through here, but you don't want to be clipped and cause yourself any bother. As you see both of them kind of getting through there unscathed. But it's always a tricky one because you want to kind of cover the line and not open yourself up to an attack. But at the same time, if you cut it too much, you end up run the risk of clipping that barrier and spinning yourself round. So it's a tense moment for all the drivers as they approach that each lap.
Yeah, certainly, especially the speed that they carry, because from this point now, where Pixie is, he's run wide, Pixie, but they carry the throttle all the way from this point, all the way up the hill to that braking zone, and this is going to give Mike really a really good chance here to try and line up Pixie for a manoeuvre. Pixie obviously knows he's there, because that bright green truck is the widest thing. He's nearly losing it, and he's drifting it. He takes out a cone, and he's still got the inside leg of Mike's through on Pixie. A really good opportunistic manoeuvre there from Mike. And Pixie now will have to try and follow Mike closely and see if he can get him back. And look at this battle going on. This is Del Boy and Matt. So Matt's just ahead of Del Boy. The red truck versus the yellow truck. And they've just come out of that twisty section, going down into the last corner again. A long sweeping right-hander. Try and pick up the throttle early and try and get a nice run here all the way down the straight. And Del Boy just loses the back end slightly there, so that's going to put him a few inches back from Matt. So we'll have to see whether he goes for a dive. He's shaping him up. And Matt's just seen him there, and he just closes the door very firmly, and Del Boy's going to have to try and use the cutback now, going up the hill.
Yeah, definitely. He was just a bit too far back there to get a run on him, but keeps on the racing line, keeps building the speed up, and if he goes on this straight, it won't be long before he's back on him. But interesting wee battle tussle here at the back as we see them both going through this. Del Boy's coming a wee bit tight there, but managed to correct it, and so he didn't lose any time there. But it's definitely going to be he's closing in on Matt a bit here, so it won't be long for he's in position to make a move at this rate.
Absolutely, yeah. And looking at Mike Gunnan now in 3rd at the moment. He's look at this. He's really caught at the back of Stuart Davis. I don't know if Stuart's had an issue or Mike's just simply outpaced him. It looks like Stuart had a very slow lap the last time round, 5 seconds slower than Mike. So Stuart's clearly had an issue somewhere. and Mike now can see one of his championship rivals just up ahead. He really needs to gain ground on Stewart and Loopy. Oh, they come together. Oh, and he's in the barrier and he's lost loads of momentum now. And there's Pixie coming through as well. Pixie's got third back off Mike, and now this is Del Boy and Matt continuing their fights. Del Boy outbreaks himself, and this is Matt coming back on the inside. Oh, and he squeezes him into the barrier, and Del Boy's facing the barrier, and he's going to have to put it in reverse. This is terrible news for Del Boy, so it's all kicking off here.
Yeah, all kicking off. We saw Stuart and Mike getting a bit of action going, and then the same with Matt and Del Boy. As Del Boy just they both looked like they were going to overdo it coming into that corner, and it just looks like Del Boy's come off worst there, and Mike with just coming to a standstill. It's lost all his momentum, and now he's back behind Pixie, looking to make a run on him again. But yeah, what a chaotic corner that was.
Yeah, we love it, don't we? Let's be honest, it's great. And look at that again, Pixie. You have to try and get as close as you can to try and carry the speed, but too close you clip it and you lose all of your speed, as demonstrated a couple of times there in the last couple of laps. Pixie, though, still holding his own, just out ahead there in ahead of Mike, and he's still in that podium position, and Stewart as well, only just up ahead there. So Pixie, if he's got the bit between his teeth here with another lap or so to go, he could really maybe even challenge for seconds here, could Pixie. But second place is not appearing in Luke McGee's dictionary in this race, because he's been way out ahead. He's probably wondering where on earth the rest of them have been. He's loving life in this truck around this circuit. You can see him confidently drifting around the last corner now, power sliding through, and he's going to take the win here. I think this is coming up to the line now, so there's no line as such painted on the track at this circuit, is there? But he comes across the line, I think, and yes, that's Luke McGee taking the win. Fantastically deserved win that is from Luke McGee. Just pure pace, and he was out there by himself all race, wasn't he?
Yeah, Loopy G desperate to build up, make up ground after Stuart's treble in the last. So he's started that off well, and as he needs to go on really to make the most of it. But yeah, great race there, and see Stuart Davis's championship rival still finishing in second. So damage limitation there from Stu, but he's done well, and Pixie getting the third step on the podium after a fairly chaotic start to the day.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff by Pixie there, getting on the podium. He's one of the few drivers to finish that chaotic race we had at Spain, where pretty much everyone ran out of fuel. And I think he had a podium then too, possibly. I don't know, I have to have a look back through the results. But yeah, valuable points for Stewart there, damage limitation. Mike Gunnan, I mean, he could have been second today, couldn't he? And he's down there in fourth again. It's another case of what could have been.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're disappointed with that, having he was really unlucky on the first corner, but there was a couple of points there where he could have maybe got back, and he got a bit bogged down in that corner as they cut back across. So yeah, interesting pacer from Mike, but he'll be looking to do better as the day goes on.
Absolutely, and race 2 coming up, and Matt will be hoping he can finish 5th again. It's a great result. Oh, and they started now, and that's Stuart Davis off in the grass. What's he doing over there? He's mowing the grass. He doesn't need to be over there, and it's Matt leading the way. Mike Gunnan is just behind this lot. He's shaping them all up, seeing what's going to happen, pick off the scraps where he can, but it's Matt leading Del Boy as they go up through the Schumacher S's now, with race 1 winner Luke McGee just tucked in behind there, ahead of podium sitter Pixie as well, and they're coming now into the really tight tricky bit. What's going to happen here? Del Boy's going for a lunge. He's down the inside of Matt. Matt's had to get out of it. He can't get back on the line now, and that's Mike barging his way past as well on Pixie. What on earth happened back there? We'll have to have a look. There it is, and Mike and Pixie, and now Stuart Davis coming back through as well. Luke McGee's up to second. Del Boy's leading, and look at that, Stuart Davis just picks the both of them off as they're both battling away with each other. Fantastic opportunistic move there by Stewart. He's back up into 4th now after, I don't know what happened to him at the start. He just turned into a lawnmower. And Luke McGee now is shaping up the yellow machine of Del Boy. Del Boy would love to finish there, but Luke McGee, of course, he's got a championship to think about. He needs to line up his move properly. He gets a good run out of this corner now as they go up the hill, and as they head through the Schumacher S's, he needs to try and stay close and maybe dive from him if he can. But we've seen lots of drivers come across there already, haven't we?
We sure have, as we see. Oh, here's Loopy going.
Oh, he's off, he's round. Oh, he just outbraked himself. He's trying to reverse now, and this is Matt's going through into second. Oh, Stuart Davis is out too. He's in the barrier facing the wrong way, and he gets a clip from Pixie as if to say get a move on, and now Stuart Davis is doing donuts for the crowd. Lots of smoke, and he's back down to 6th.
Yeah, Loopy looked like a goner there, but he was actually bailed out by his main championship rival Stuart there, who did similar incident coming in. But yeah, it was a really unfortunate one there for Loopy. He went for the run down Del Boy, but in doing so put himself off for the racing line, and Del Boy coming in the racing line just kind of clipped him as he was going by, and it spun Loopy round, and now Loopy's got a bit of work to do as see Mike Gunning fancying his chances here as he's coming really close here, and battle resumes between these two again.
Yeah, this is the opportunity that Mike's been looking for here for so long now. This is where he really needs to stand up. We're nearly halfway through the championship. He's had a lot of bad luck so far, and this is his chance to get past the championship leader. And he runs wide as Loopy. He's not liking that corner today, and he gets a little tap from Mike as he passes him. So Mike is up now into third. Fantastic stuff from Mike. And he needs to crack on now, see if he can catch Matt just up ahead. He should have a pace advantage over Matt based on his pace in the previous race. We'll have to wait and see, because Loopy McGee isn't going to give up on this one though, is he?
No, certainly not. Really unfortunate corner there for Loopy. Just carried too much speed in again, and Mike just got down the inside, and he's fighting hard to get back. But bit ragged. He's a bit ragged at the start of this one. Just needs to kind of find his composure again. Made a few early mistakes, but needs to get his head down and get back into this, because he's still ahead of Stuart Davis' championship rival, but he'll be wanting to capitalise on that if he can, as building on his very good first race.
Must be the aerodynamic wash coming off these bricks of thing, aren't they? It's affecting his driving. It is. He was out in front. He didn't know what aerodynamic wash was in the first race, but look at this little truly train forming now behind Matt. Well, a Matt train, we should say. And he's really causing a little train of trucks queuing up here, so this will be helping Del Boy out very nicely now. He's opened up a 6-second lead, and Mike Gunning's just shaping up. Oh, down the inside, and that's Loopy there trying to look through on Matt. I think he just outbraked himself actually, rather than going for an overtake. And Matt's had a really poor run out of here. This has given Mike an opportunity, but he's going to be on the outside now. This is going to be really entertaining to see what happens here. And Matt's going to run him out of the road, is he? No, not quite. Oh, it started to snow now as well, just to add it into the mix. Here is the forecast snow that we were waiting for. Oh, look at that down the inside. That's Loopy down the inside of Matt, and Matt runs wide now, and Loopy's through, or is he? Matt's still on the inside a little bit, but he has to give it up now eventually, and Loopy now goes through up into third, and now he's the one who's over the back of Matt, and the snow is really chucking it down as Pixie starts to close in behind as well. Oh God, what do you make of this? Is Matt going to keep them all behind?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with snow coming down now. That'll be playing on their minds as they're in this mammoth battle for second, third, and fourth. So yeah, it's all kicking off here as we see Mike just bumping into the back of Loopy there, but the snow certainly cause havoc as we have this massive battle here. So but this snow you're looking for has finally arrived, so this could certainly spice things up.
Yeah, now down the inside again goes Loopy. He's not going to break up this time, is he? No, he's had lots of practice of that, and eventually he decides that he doesn't want to lock up anymore, and he gets through into second. And now this is Pixie. Look at it, he's looking really aggressive. It's Pixie on the back of Mike Gunning there.
Yeah, practice makes perfect for Loopy through that corner. He's finally nailed it down the inside of Matt, and he'll be wanting to get on, because Mike's well and truly in the battle here as well, and he'll be wanting to capitalise on Stuart Davis, who's fallen to the back here, and will be wanting to, hopefully the weather might be beneficial to him, but he won't want to be stuck here for too long, so as he looks to get back into it, but Loopy will want to be capitalising in the front, although he's dropped a fair bit back from Delva. That's 7 seconds now, so he'll be wanting to get to work on that.
Yeah, we're over halfway through this race now, so there's still plenty of time for things to happen. And it looks like Luke is really close. The gap here is under a second now on Del Boy. What's happened to Del Boy? Why has he just dropped so much time? We'll have to have a little look. The race director's looking at Matt at the moment, and rightly so, because he's causing a huge train of cars behind him. It's Stuart Davis now, just up ahead of Pixie. Pixie's had an incident in the barrier again, so he's back down to 6th. And finally, Stuart Davis moves off the bottom position. He's into 5th now. He's still got a lot of work to do, and he's going to have his work cut out getting past Matt, because he's got the widest truck out there at the moment. And look at the snow coming down now. What's it like for the drivers in these conditions, in these trucks?
Treacherous, yeah. Very. First of all, the visibility and the grip, but as well, there's some good battles going on here as we see Loopy trying to get back in on Del Boy. So that'll all be playing on their minds as Del Boy will just be looking to keep ahead here, but Loopy will just be one eye. It'll just be all folks in the championship trying to trying to get another win as he comes in here. A wee touch there, but they all keep going. That's what you got to watch here, because the weather will be playing havoc with that as you're braking, and just for all-round vision will be difficult. So they need to keep their heads here. But it's certainly going to make it more difficult as the snow keeps coming down.
You can see the spray as well on the circuit. It looks extremely slippery out there, and visibility is pretty bad as well, pretty shocking. You can see the lights there on the cars just shining through it, and Luke McGee looks a bit ragged. He's still over the back of Del Boy though. Del Boy definitely dropped a lot of time somewhere, made a mistake, and look at the fight in the car as well going through that. I'd like to see an onboard of Stuart Davis actually, to see how he's coping, because he's on the controller compared to Loopy on the steering wheel there. And the general belief is throughout this league anyway that when things get a little bit slippery, sometimes the controller can be a little bit of a handful because you haven't got so much movement in it. But Luke McGee's proven it's still tricky on the wheel as well. There's a lot of work to do, and constantly making adjustments, and he just about gets away with that one there. But it's given Del Boy a little run up the road now, and Mike is looking for an opportunity to get through. And this is an opportunity for Mike here. He's in third. He's ahead of Stuart Davis. Can he get ahead of Luke McGee as well?
Well, he's right in the running here. It's 2 seconds covering the top three here. And this is a good opportunity for Mike, but Loopy's still very much got his eyes on the W as well, so it all depends on if Del Boy can hold it together here, or what happens in the closing stages. But it's certainly could be a very exciting finish, as we see a very, very close battle for the win here.
Yeah, I think Mike would probably be thinking at this stage, if these two tangle, I'm going to have to be ready to get through. Oh, and they do tangle! That's a commentator's curse. They tangled, but look at that. He's reversing. Del Boy's reversed into Mike, and Mike has been really unlucky there to be caught up in that. Stuart Davis, he's the lucky one. No, he gets taken out by Del Boy. Del Boy's just, I think he's stuck in reverse. He's taken out everyone in reverse. Yeah, Stuart Davis is probably thinking, why is he reversing into me?
Yeah, it's all gone wrong for Del Boy in that corner. First of all, he clipped the inside. It was tight between him and McGee anyway, but he clipped the inside, and then as Loopy was coming around, he's just clipped him and spun him round, and then he's tried to reverse to get out of it. He's clipped Mike, and then just to finish it off, he's clipped Stuart Davis coming through as well, and Del Boy dropped back down to 6th. So. What a horror show from Del Boy there, and it's he seems to have clipped everyone in the process. So and that's Stuart Davis. Went out his style. Yeah, and it's put Stuart Davis has managed to hold on in second, so he's come up from near the back to second place. So, but poor Del Boy, he was doing so well in that race, and it's just all gone wrong from there.
Yeah, it could have easily been a win, and just a slight error there, and poor Mike got in the wrong place at the wrong time once again. But he's still in third, so it's not as bad as it could be. And you got Matt here still fighting away with Pixie for 4th and 5th, so those two epic rivalries continuing.
Yeah, sure is. Del Boy will be kicking him there, because that's allowed Loopy away at the front now, building a 6-second lead. Stuart Davis. But yeah, it's unlucky there for Mike, because he was right in the running there, and. It's just good finish for him, but just not enough in terms of the championship. So we'll it's unfortunate there for him.
And Luke McGee coming around the last corner now, and there's a lot of music playing from somewhere. I don't know if you can hear that as well. Maybe it's Luke McGee blasted the stereo as he goes over the line. I know these Ford F-150s have got good speakers on them probably. But anyway, he takes another win here to make it 2 wins from 2. And Stuart Davis, his championship rival, is going to come home in 2nd, I think. And Mike Gunn will probably be a little bit annoyed by 3rd. But 3rd is good points still.
Yeah, definitely. It's maybe a missed opportunity there. But he was in 3rd, and it was Loopy and Del Boy. He was in 3rd behind them, and just unfortunate instance just meant he stayed in 3rd and missed out on an opportunity there. But really unfortunate for Del Boy. I think that was he was doing so well at the front there, and just an unfortunate clip near the end, and it's gone from first to last really. So he'll be kicking himself there. But Loopy's been there and to make to to bounce when he's had the opportunity, and Stuart Davis has managed to get himself back up into second place. So from a championship point of view, it's as you are, but some great racing here, and I think we're going on to, as the weather progresses, I think we could get a full snow race in the last one, so that'll be very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely, and Pixie just pipped Matt on the line as well by the looks of it. Oh, and it's really snowing here. Look how many trucks have already spun out. It's only Loopy, McGee and Matt who have managed to keep it going straight at the looks of it. They all just spun out as they put the power in on the rolling start like we have as always here. And look how slippery the track is. Never mind it being a little bit slippery last time. Now it's a complete, ice rink, isn't it? And Loopy McGee trying to power up the hill. Just so difficult to feed the throttle in. This is going to be extremely entertaining. And Stuart Davis, it says Stuart Davis in second at the moment, but I don't think that's Stuart's truck. That's a red truck of Matt, I thought. But we'll have to wait and see whether that timing system's right or not. But look, it's going to be treacherous for them to feed through the power up that hill, isn't it?
Sure is.
That's Pixie gone.
Oh, yeah. Coming up that hill, it's just all about feeding the throttle, keeping the balance right. But it's so treacherous, it's so slippery because they'll be spinning out rear-wheel drive trucks. Remember, so it'll be you're trying not to put too much power to spin out the front. So it's going to be a balancing act here. But Loopy and Matt looks like they made the best start. Although the time screen's a bit weird at the moment, so we'll see if that settles out. But it's a treacherous start, and I think the rolling start caused havoc at the beginning.
Yeah, even the timing screen couldn't cope with that start.
Certainly not. It's all gone a bit wonky already. So we'll see how this balances out. But as you see, Mike making a wee move here on Pixie, but you wouldn't know from the timing screen, so I don't know quite know what's going there. But it looks like Mike's up into third, but we just don't know yet. So we'll see how this develops.
Yeah, I think he has just made his way past Pixie, but let's ignore the timing screen for now. Let's see what's happening on the circuit, because like you said, I think it's gone a bit crazy on there, and Stuart Davis is probably not second. I think he's a little bit further down than that. I think he's spun though. He spun, and he's on the snow now, but he's just getting going again. That's the one good thing with these trucks, is that they probably are quite at home in snowy conditions. And down the inside goes Pixie on Del Boy, but it looks a bit he's lost it. Pixie has. He's on the snow now, and Del Boy escapes unscathed, and that's Mike Gunning getting a good run out of the last corner there. So he's side by side now, coming down the hill with Pixie on the inside. What's going to happen here? Is Mike going to go around the outside? Pixie breaks a little bit earlier, and Mike manages to get through, but he nearly tags Del Boy, who's out of control, and he spins off. And Pixie is nearly out of control as well, but not quite as much out of control as Del Boy. And Pixie now's got a better run than Del Boy, and they're going to be side by side going through the Schumacher S's, are they? Not quite, I don't think. Del Boy's still ahead.
Yeah, Del Boy's still got ahead here, but no, he's spun out there. And he's round. Oh dear!
It's like watching the red arrows.
Sure is. They both spun out there. It's so treacherous in that corner. Your track carries much speed up in, but you're kind of, as you go through, you're going through the S's. You want to balance it nicely, but it's gone wrong for them there. So as you see, Loopy, struggling a bit at the front here as well. It's still a bit leery at the front even, but he's managed to get a bit of a gap. So he'll just be managing it for just now, lap 4. But it's a balancing act all the way through, as we see Matt coming through the corner here. Not far behind Loopy, but it's showing Loopy's made a wee mistake there, but he's managed to keep it going. But Matt's not too far behind, it looks like. So we'll see how this goes. But still a bit chaotic, both in the time screens and on the track.
Yeah, Stuart Davis really struggling there, trying to get around the tight corner and at low speed. Are these trucks worse in these conditions at low speed or high speed?
I think at lower speed they're a bit more treacherous, especially in these conditions because it's so icy, and they're just putting all their power to the back, and it makes them very spirally, as we see Loopy demonstrating quite nicely there. Just so much power at the back, it kicks the tail out, and you're just trying to balance the front without any power going to it. So it definitely makes them a bit more treacherous in these slower, kind of icier conditions compared to when you've got a bit of speed going. You can kind of kick the tail out and balance it nicely, but it's certainly a lot more treacherous in these conditions.
Yeah, riding on board with Matt now, going into the very tricky, slow section. So he really does, like you're saying, need to feed the power in here to try and stop it snapping on him. And he's remarkably smooth, this Matt. We've seen him with smooth drive-in style before, but it really does seem to be playing to his advantage here at the moment. And he is keeping Loopy honest. We've seen Loopy a little bit ragged in race 2, and here he's trying to break away from Matt, but he's seemingly unable to at the moment. Matt is having an absolutely fantastic race, and it's the first time we've really seen Matt challenging for a win. So I don't want to put the curse on him or anything, but he's going absolutely fantastically here. So we see a truck pulled off to the side of the circuit there, just in the foreground. Who is that? That's Pixie. Oh, and Matt crashes into Pixie. I told you they have a bit of a rivalry.
Yeah, Matt couldn't resist there. He's as a sort of Pixie come there, couldn't resist a wee nudge as he was going past. But no, Matt certainly making the most of his North Michigan upbringing with the snowy conditions, and he seems right at home here. So he's definitely in the running, and keeping Loopy honest at the front. So it's a great show from Matt so far.
Yeah, trying to give Pixie a little bit of a wake-up call as well, by the looks of it. Just trading some paint, for old time's sake, saying, yeah, I'm lapping you today. But this is Stuart Davis now trying to get past Mike Gunning by the looks of it. So Mike is trying to keep Stuart at bay at the moment for, we have no idea what positions they're in, but hopefully we'll find out at the end of the race. And at the moment anyway, it's still Mike just ahead of Stuart, and it's hard to say who's the fastest of these two at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. They're both had a couple of unfortunate incidents, but they're both right together and wanting to keep on it. But it's again still so treacherous. They need to. It's hard enough time keeping yourself on the track without racing with somebody. So as we see, Mike's gone a bit wide here, but managed to keep running. But it's so treacherous just now. They're just trying to keep it on the road as best they can, and while also having a battle.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental, isn't it? I mean, you're going sideways, and the other person next to you is going sideways, and you're like, how am I not crashing into him? And then you do. But Stuart Davis is trying to get that front end in. You can see in the previous corner down the hill there how brave Mike was on the brakes. He absolutely sent it into there, even though he was the leading truck. And he nearly went off into the snow, just about got away with it. Stuart Davis seemingly preferring that lower line through the corner, hugging the apex a bit more, and Mike seems to be going a little bit wide, sort of more of a wet racing line for Mike. So we'll have to see which one's quicker. At the moment, it looks like Stuart Davis might have a little bit of a pace advantage if he could just find a way through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mike's obviously...
Oh, he's overcooked it now.
Just try to carry as much speed in, but I think Stuart Davis both had a wee issue there. But Mike, being the lead truck there, is first to discover what it's like on each corner, because definitely can be changeable conditions like this. So he's first to discover how the grips handling each lap to lap. Puts him a slight disadvantage, but he seems to be handling it well just now. So but it's still quite interesting between these two.
Yeah, so let's do a little bit of a maths class here. Loopy McGee is leading, we know that. Matt is second, I think, looking at the times. Oh, who's that? That's Pixie. That's okay, it's Pixie. He's last anyway, I think. And sorry, Pixie. And Matt is second, definitely at the moment. And then it's and that's Del Boy off. I was going to say then it's Del Boy, but it's not anymore because he's in the barrier. And then I think it's Mike, and then it's Stuart Davis, and then it's Pixie or Del Boy. Did I get that right?
Yeah, looking at the timing. Looking at the timing.
I was trying to do the order, and they kept crashing.
Yeah, not helping there, but I think you've. That sounds about right there. As you see, Stuart Davis putting a wee move on Mike. This will cause more havoc with the leaderboard. But Stuart Davis into third, showing a second. But I think the incident in the timing lines just knocked everyone. So the the time machines don't know what's going on. So it's but yeah, I think you've got it right there. So. Just need to keep an eye on that as we go on.
Yeah, it's been interesting to see now whether Stuart has the pace or not to catch Matt. He's 5 seconds behind at the moment, and probably isn't, because actually, whilst we've been watching this race, it's absolutely flown by this last of the 3 10-minute races here at Mullenbach. And we're already on the last lap by the looks of it. Luke McGee leading the way. It looks like he's going to take a clean sweep here. I don't want to curse him, but he's going around a tight, really tricky bit now. He's trying to feed in the power. He's probably driving to the percentages at the moment a little bit, because a clean sweep would really do him a lot of good in the championship, especially after his rival Stu Davis took a clean sweep of wins at Spain. I believe it was clean sweep. Anyway, but Luke McGee going around the last corner now, very cautiously feeding the power. He's got a bit of a gap back to Matt, and crosses the line. And Luke McGee excellently takes full points on offer here today. Great driving from him. A little bit of a slide at one point in the last race there gave Matt a bit of a hope catching him, but Matt's still low. Absolutely fantastic race by Matt.
Yeah, fantastic performance by Matt there. Great result for him, and Stuart Davis coming home for the last podium. But yeah, Loopy, perfect response to Stuart's treble in Barcelona. That's maximum points here in Mullenbach, and just balances out the championship fight nicely. And Matt getting in between Stuart and Loopy will certainly benefit Loopy there too. So yeah, excellent performance all round, and what a final race of the day as we see the confirmed standings now with Loopy, Matt and Stuart coming in podium positions.
I do believe that's Matt's best result ever in this league, so very well done to Matt, and maybe next time it will be a win. We'll have to wait and see, but he did seem to like those snowy conditions. And this is what it does to the championship, Ian. It's Loopy now who's opened up a little bit of a gap at the top there to Stuart.
Yeah, it's definitely what he needed after the Barcelona, and maybe not going his way, so he'll be pleased to be back building on his championship lead there. But Stuart Davis is still within striking distance there, and
you have to say, so is Mike really. Mike is still within touching distance if he can turn his championship around and sort of escape the bad luck he's been having. Pixie as well now, he's up into fourth, look at that, ahead of Icebreaker, Del Boy, ahead of his rival Matt, who had a little bit of a little nudge with him in the last race there, and Monty and Alex Brown has really fallen back now because he hasn't really been racing much, but Matt and Del Boy on equal points at the moment. That's quite interesting. So the midfield is extremely tight, as is the battle for the championship as well, Ian.
Yep, certainly is, and Mike's showing that a few bad incidents for maybe Loopy and Stuart, and he could be right back in it as well, because he's certainly got the pace to be up there. So yeah, still all to play for us, because there's quite a few rounds left. So yeah, plenty still can happen.
Yes, so join us next time for the second half of the championship. Thank you for watching. See you there.